Well, I'm going to show you a quick recipe idea today. I'm going to pull all the kale out of the backyard. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to be making some kale with black beans and mushrooms, a little recipe I developed. So I'm going to show you how to make that. Hope you enjoy. Well, these are the end of the kale plants, so we're going to pull these out. This, I believe, is called Carolina White, and this is called Toscano. I've had these enough for about 3 months, so we're going to cut these out, and this is the end of the garden. So garden's going to rest a little bit anyway. This is called Toscano, and this is, I believe, is Carolina White. I'm not sure, but it's curly. This is curly. This is flat leaf, two different kinds. Anyway, we got some fresh black beans going, so this goes in the salad. So this is black beans. Oh, a little bit steamy there. So that's just some beans cooking with some carrots, onions, and garlic. Fresh. Only way to go. So that's what we picked out of the garden there. Oops. That's what we picked out of the garden there. So we got two different kinds of kale. When we slice them up, we want to get the ribs out of there. You want to get the ribs out of the kale. So we simply slice these out. And we cut them up. And we save the rib pieces. They go back out in the garden for mold. So I'm going to slice all this kale up and get ready to go. So this is fresh sliced kale, just picked. Okay, we're about to prepare the salad from scratch. So here's the ingredients. It's about that much kale. Got a bowl like this, I'm guessing that's about 3 cups that I cut out of the garden. That's 2 different kind of kales chopped up. We got about a ½ cup of fresh drained black beans. You want them drained. You don't want too much liquid in there when you're cooking them. We have 1 clove of garlic, minced, mashed. About a ½ cup of portobello mushrooms and about a ¼ cup of white onion, minced and ready to go. And we'll show you how we put this all together. Once you get this far, it goes together real fast. Okay, so I got a nice wide pan here. It goes good for this. I got a big wide, it's like a 14-inch skillet. It works good for this. So the first thing that's going in there are the mushrooms. These take the longest to cook. So I got some olive oil in there with some salt and pepper. These are going to go about 3 minutes, and we're going to add the ingredients one at a time so they all get done together. So we're going to dump them in. We do the mushrooms first, then the onions, then the black beans, then the garlic and the kale. And it goes together real fast. These are going to cook for just a minute. Okay, we're ready to finish this up now. So, oops, got that. So, onion's been on for about 3 minutes. It smells real good in here. Very last step, you put the garlic in. You don't want to burn the garlic, so you give that just a minute to get fragrant. And then we put the black beans, and we want to cook those. This is why you don't want the liquid in here. This would get too wet. So we're trying to basically cook these black beans a little bit, get some flavor in there. They'll be sizzling a little bit. So we move that around. You can really smell the garlic in here now, the mushrooms and the onions. Now we're going to throw the kale in there. We're going to toss the kale for just a minute. If you notice, the kale is kind of a dull green. It's going to turn bright green when it's cooked. So we're going to put this in here. And this is going to cook down quite a bit. We need to season this here a little bit. It'll take some seasoning and a little bit more olive oil. We just stir this around for just a minute. I don't like to cook it to death. The kale will turn to a darker green. You'll see from this dull green to kind of a bright dark green. And we simply stir it around. And this is a vegetarian dish right now. This is all just kale, mushrooms, onions, garlic, black beans. What I have been doing, I have been cubing up some ham. I got leftover ham from the holidays and serving this with the meal. So right now, if you wanted to make this a one-pot meal, you can put some cubed ham in here and cook it. You can certainly put bacon. It goes good with the earthy flavors of the mushrooms and the kale. But we're going to just stir this around for just a minute. You can see this is wilting down and it's turning to the darker green. This cooks very fast. You can cook this down to where it's kind of mushy. I don't like it that way. The black beans, I cook them where they got a little bite to them. So these goes good together. I never like my vegetables cooked to death. But it's smelling real good in here. I don't know if it's a real term or not, but it smells green in here with this fresh kale. This was just picked and cooked, and this is really good. Anyway, that's my recipe for kale with black beans, mushrooms, and onions. Pretty simple salad, pretty tasty. I serve this with honey mustard dressing, just a little bit on the side. You can certainly put what you want with this. This will go balsamic. Like I said, I cubed some ham up in here. This is an excellent dish. You guys want to experiment with some kale. Anyway. Try this. Let me know if you like it. Bye.